resolution. So I don't think they pay much attention to what happens in New York. This is really a long-term increase in the risk from North Korea as their ballistic missile program improves to give them a delivery capability for their nuclear weapons.
Well, even the UN, going to the UN, what can the UN do or what it's likely to do? Because, I mean, this is a country that, for all intents and purposes, is hermetically sealed and has very little interaction with the rest of the world. And while it may be sort of starving, it may need fuel, may need all those things, it doesn't seem to need that much or care that much. What can the UN truly do?
I don't think the UN is going to do much of anything. I think it's very unlikely they'll get a stiff sanctions resolution. The sanctions that were imposed in 2006 when North Korea tested missiles and a nuclear device obviously haven't stopped them. I think the real pressure has to be applied on China, which gives North Korea 80 to 90% of its energy and a substantial amount of its food and other humanitarian needs. China's got the capability to stop this nuclear program. We've just never applied adequate pressure to them.
To what impact is it that North Korea is now holding 2 women American journalists? Does that in any way complicate this?
It could well be in the State Department's mind. I don't think it should. I think this is a much larger question. I'm sorry for the 2 people who were detained by the North Koreans, that's for sure. But I think we've got to keep the big picture in mind. And a ballistic missile that can reach the United States, can easily reach Japan, is a substantial threat.
All right, you said that China, we haven't put enough pressure on China. What would be China's resistance? Because, I mean, I realize they're not sort of in the line of fire. Japan is much more concerned about this, and of course people live on the western part of the United States, even though this missile is not thought to be able to reach that right now, the United States. But why isn't China more on board on this to do something about North Korea?
Well, they should be. I take China at its word that it doesn't want to have North Korea with nuclear weapons. The problem for China is they're afraid if they apply too much pressure to North Korea, they'll collapse the regime entirely. There'll be reunification of the Korean Peninsula, and they'll see American forces on the Yalu River. They didn't like that movie in 1950. They don't like it any better today. But it really is contrary to China's own interest not to do more to stop this North Korean nuclear program, because if it continues, it provides a strong incentive for Japan and others to go nuclear, and that clearly is going to increase tension in Northeast Asia.
Any thoughts on whether you think that this, if indeed it's a rocket launch, whether it truly can reach the United States? I mean, people feel pretty comfortable it can hit Japan. It's gone over Japan once before when they did the last one.
You know, we don't know exactly what this rocket is, but if it is a Taepodong ballistic missile, it can probably hit Hawaii and parts of Alaska if it meets its specifications, and in a different form could hit the western part of the United States. But this is all part of an ongoing program the North Koreans have been at for quite some time now.
All right, well, it's breaking news that it could happen at any time, any moment. North Korea seems ready to launch this, and of course the world is anxiously watching to see exactly what it is and how successful they are. Fox News and the world will continue to watch this very important matter. And again, this launch is reportedly imminent, could come at any moment. We're going to tell you if and when it happens.